Hey guys, today I'm posting a video response to MaximumRD's open tag. What was your first computer? What was your first computer, and any of the story you want to throw in about it. You'll know the answer to that if you've watched any of my early videos. If you watch my channel at all, you should know the answer to that. But back in 1982, my brother had an OSI 4K tape-based computer, had a monochrome monitor. It was actually a modified TV because it pretty much needed its own monitor, but the dealer he'd bought it off of had modified a black and white TV to serve as a monitor. And I knew I wanted a computer, and I kind of toyed with it, wanted something to play games with mainly. And he had gotten a Spectra Video computer, which had a built-in joystick and had a game built into it. And I said something about maybe wanting to get it, but at this time a friend of ours had already said that he wanted it, so I didn't get a chance to get it. And then actually kind of glad I didn't get it, because the Spectra Video computer was very much unsupported, especially in the U.S. Later on, Spectra Video, made the MSX computer, and in fact, it's my understanding that the computer at the time was part of the basis of the MSX computer. But even then, in the U.S., the MSX machines weren't supported, so it would have been, extremely difficult to have got any software for it. So, today, I'd dearly love to have that machine, but as a collector. But at the time, I was just as glad I didn't have it. And then my brother had seen an ad in the Radio Shack flyer for Radio Shack color computer, 16K extended color basic, and he said, "Looks like maybe it's a good deal." He didn't know a whole lot about it. I knew nothing about it, so I went in and got it. And then that first year had very little software for it. A few cartridges came out that I got, and then at the end of the year, as I've told before, I became familiar with Rainbow Magazine, and when I got it, there were plenty of games available for it. So this is the machine that I had originally in 1982. I mean, after all, doesn't everybody still have their first computer? I sure do. There are two differences with this computer. Two changes that I made over the years. The first change is this keyboard. This is a chiclet keyboard, calculator style keys. A little bit better than a membrane keyboard, but still a very low end, very low quality keyboard. Almost painful to use. I mean, at the time I put up with it. It could be used, but not a real enjoyable experience. And there were several several replacement keyboards that had slightly different layouts, but did have function keys. And I decided to wait until until Mark Data released a keyboard that the layout is identical to the original, so it doesn't have the function keys. But let's face it, software didn't require them. There were certain software, I'm sure, that could have taken a little bit of advantage of them, but they weren't really needed, since the stock color computer, stock Coco, didn't have them. So that was the first, and then the second thing was I had it upgraded to 64K. If I took it apart, you'd see that there's a fair amount of wires running around on the motherboard and all, because this was the D board, which was upgradable to 64K, but was a bit more of a challenge, required a bit more rewiring of the board to get it to work. The E board was easier yet, and then what most people referred to as the F board, or the 285 board. I forget what it was, but what most people referred to as the F board. After that, it became easier to upgrade. As I've mentioned before, this one here, the reset button and the power button are broke on it, but I've got the power button turned on so that I can use it with a power switch, and I've got can reset it with my finger. I of course have my color computer 3, so I only get this out and use it really for the occasional program that won't run on the Coco 3. It was a rather uninformed decision. If I had looked at what was available at the time and the support that was in place, I quite possibly would have went with an Atari, or maybe with the Commodore 64, which was just coming out at the time. But over the years, I've been very happy with the color computer. I've enjoyed being part of the color computer community. And so, you know, this is my first computer, and I think it turned out very well, even if it was an uninformed decision. And so I'll leave a post to MaximumRD's channel. Definitely check it out, and to his tag video. So, you know, watch his tag video, and definitely consider posting your own video response to his video. And as always, more later.